going to pull up the market on Kalshi here for her. So there was a market on who was going to be the first to leave the Trump administration. Let me quick pull that up. We can take a look. Any instant reaction to that, James? Surprising, not surprising?
Yeah, I mean, there was that story came out. Times, I forget who. Somebody published it this morning, saying that Trump was asking around other cabinet members about firing her, and it seemed like these markets were starting to kind of trade just on that news cycle. And I was thinking it was going to die down because I mean Gabbard's been kind of in the favorite to get axed first, but then a little while ago, Bondi just came through as getting fired. So
yeah, definitely surprising. I mean, she was only at somewhere around 50% like just a couple days ago. Mm-hmm. So the market really wasn't expecting it to, like, all of a sudden this soon. I know she was catching some heat for her handling of the Epstein files and some other things, but things must have escalated really quickly here for her in the middle of a war, like a lot going on, and she got the axe.
Yeah, she did. And that is like, just forecasting Trump is difficult. Man, it is.
Yeah.
Dramatic. It feels like. I mean, maybe there's more sense to it behind the scenes, but yeah, I mean, just like with Trump's first administration, it was figuring out who was about to go was tough until just before it happened.
Who will be Trump's next? Let's see who we got for next one. I don't know a lot about these people. Lee Zeldin, Blanche looks like Blanche spiked like around an hour ago or something, and then has tanked back down. That's interesting.
Yeah,
but Lee Zeldin the favorite right now.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a news cycle.
Yeah,
like there. Yeah, I mean Blanche makes sense for Trump. He was his attorney for a long time, and he's pretty sycophantic when it comes to those kind of appointments, because it's a loyalty appointment, I think, at this point.
Oh, okay. He spoke so highly of Bondi. Like, he was like forever, like every time she would come up, he was saying how awesome she is. So
yeah. It looks like even in the release, he said what a good job she did. I was just reading.
Oh.
So
must have got up on the wrong side of the bed today, maybe?
I don't know. It feels like it's out of left field.
So does a trade here stand out to you at all? I mean, just quick, I know you probably haven't dug into it, but anything?
Yeah. I would maybe look at trade, like striking on Blanche, but being ready to hop out if the price goes up. But I don't know if I give him like a likelihood of being appointed, but I think there's a high likelihood that his price will go up before there's an appointment.
Yeah, a lot of resting bids here. Yeah, a little imbalance for the order book. A lot of people wanting to buy yes on Blanche. Or no, that's on the no. Sorry. Let's see. Had that backwards. Yeah. So kind of the opposite showing here, but that can change quickly.
Yeah.
I just want to take a peek at order book for Zeldin. So yeah, I mean, this is interesting. A lot of people wanting, a lot of asks for Zeldin. People wanting to sell him. Interesting. So yeah, speaking of order book, we noticed from the order book for the Pam Bondi ousting before the announcement came out. I wonder if we can see it. I don't know, probably not anymore, but there was someone put some pretty big orders up to buy yes for Bondi being out first. So that's a little sketchy, feels a little insider-ish there that
Mm.
someone before the announcement came out, and this is on Kalshi, who supposedly enforces insider trading. So
Yeah, it'll be
could be
interesting to
something to
see.
watch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they honor the trade, because I know they've been a little bit more under the microscope as the volume in prediction markets is starting to go up. I mean, they've just earlier this month they uh, declined something from Hegseth, like trading on. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry, that's wrong. That was a military tech thing. But
Oh,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they honor that. They've been a couple of very public like disqualifications of trades, and as they're gonna get probably in the middle of some legal battles between the Fed and states, I think it'll start coming up a lot more.
yeah, if you look at their I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this thing that they put out. Here we go. So they put out some huge advertisements saying, we rule number one, Kalshi bans insider trading. This was just on March 30. They're putting this advertising campaign, trying to separate themselves from Polymarket, because Kalshi's a federally regulated U.S. exchange. So they're going with the pitch that we're regulated, we don't have insider trading, and Polymarket does. Basically, they're leaning into that very heavily, which I think shows that they see a huge battle coming, probably with these rules and regulations. It's going to be a hot topic.
Yeah, I mean, they really want to present themselves as a futures trading platform, like
Mm-hmm.
something for traders to hedge on, and this all fits that narrative. Like as they're also just protecting their market share. Like, I mean, I think their users would drop way off if that narrative kind of got out and became more prevalent, that they were not cracking down so hard on perceived insider trading.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I'll be curious of your take on this. There's the debate on insider trading on prediction markets has been going for a while now, and I've been following what different people are saying about it. There's definitely people that think insider trading in prediction markets is good, or it helps the markets because if you have some information, you can now it makes the markets more accurate, basically, right? So if you're yeah, I don't have an example off the top of my head, but you want people that have information to be trading, because then the odds and the accuracy of these markets will be better. It will like give the signal to the market. And then there's the other side that says insider trading is bad. It's fraudulent. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. And a big argument on that side is because it eventually, if there's insider trading that's prevalent, people will leave and won't want to trade because they will feel like they're going to get screwed by an insider, or their counterparty is an insider in the Trump administration, and so then the liquidity in these markets will eventually be less as less people want to trade, etc. And originally I was kind of on the side of, yeah, insider trading, like, sure, if you have some information, obviously not like markets that are on like financial companies and things like that, but maybe on politics, or I don't know, it's maybe okay. But now I'm starting to be more on the side of, yeah, it's probably not good, because I found myself thinking about that on some of my trading, like, who's my counterparty here? There's probably an insider that knows more than I do. So why would I want to trade against them? I've
Right.
had those thoughts. And it has made me more hesitant. So I see Kalshi's point for sure. I mean, I kind of see both sides, but I'm starting to find myself a little bit more on Kalshi's side. I don't know what side you fall on.
Well, that's an interesting scenario because I mean, and this isn't a perfect one-to-one comparison, but it really comes down to what do you view these markets as? Is if
Mm,
you have the CFTC view of they are a hedge against future events or implications, and then that insider trading would just be trading more accurately. It's not a perfect example, but it's sort of in that area. And then the other side is if you see it as like, no, then I'll take a loss because somebody has non-public information. Is like that is very much a gambling view, and
yeah.
that would be like the state's argument against the federal government when this eventually gets litigated, like in district courts, and it'll get appealed. And I don't know how high the appeals will go, but that will be the essential part of the state's argument is going to be that this is a assumed risk, is not a hedge, and therefore this insider information is antithetical to what these platforms are claiming to be. And I think that really will be at the heart of that legal battle.
Yeah. And there's some politicians coming out against prediction markets. There was one that just banned all of his staff from trading on prediction markets. I forget who it was, but then there's like Adam Schiff, senator from California, I believe, introducing a bill against prediction markets. And then this comes at a time where, it's funny if you prediction market trading volume is setting records. So this is the chart here of the last couple of years, and you can see just straight up as far as volumes for Polymarket and Kalshi. So of course now people care, right? So a year ago or 2 years ago, volumes were so small nobody cared, but now they're doing
Yeah.
billions. Now they're doing billions in volume, and so people are starting to pay attention now.
Oh yeah. And it just as a little bit of an aside to it, and it just especially like more of our corner of the prediction market world with like policy analysis, is you're starting to see a lot of big political analyst groups uh, banning their employees from trading on it, like
Really?
Eurogroup, I think did it. A couple of other done it because they're such big influential organizations that they could actually influence in part these markets, and
Mm,
to kind of like to keep their neutrality with their clients, they have started to ban all of their employees from trading on them too. It's really
interesting.
interesting, like just development in unexpected places that this like increased volume is creating.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard to see the volume slowing down. It's got some momentum here that kind of starting to reach some escape velocity. So this
Yeah,
is
the
just going to
guardrails
become.
are
Yeah.
off for that.
So this is the post from Adam Schiff saying so that's that's going to be a real battle is insider trading, but also just the states basically versus the CFTC, because the CFTC wants to regulate and thinks it's under their jurisdiction. The states think it's gambling, so they want the gambling revenue, basically. Am I right there? And so they want it to be under the
Oh
state's
yeah, yeah.
jurisdiction. It's kind of the
Under
other
CFTC,
issue.
they're cut out completely.
Yeah. So then, so like the sports books, DraftKings and stuff are, you would assume losing volume and thus the state's losing revenue to prediction markets. And so it's interesting. I found this interesting. So Adam, this senator is doing this bill, and then this response from Adam Cochran was interesting. So he was just talking about how basically this senator, he voted for Dodd-Frank and voted against its rollback, and now after taking donations from the gambling lobby, now he's all against these regulations, basically from the CFTC. regulating these event contracts, basically. So it does make you, you do have to step back, think about the incentives a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, these senators and stuff, yeah, they're probably getting big donations from gambling lobbies and things like that, and they don't want that to go away. So they want to fight for them a little bit. Is a
Yeah,
lot what's going on here, I think.
they're offering protection money, essentially.
Yeah.
They're telling to tamp down the competition. Because I wonder. I mean, I don't know if there's any numbers out on what like FanDuel or DraftKings, what they're losing to these like hedge markets. But it's got to be a substantial amount at this point.
Yeah, and it makes sense just over the long term that as prediction markets get more liquid, that people would move to them, because just from an individual like trader's perspective, you're not trading against like the house, right? There's not the sports books, are they basically they want you to lose. They profit when you lose. They limit if you're a winner, they limit you. So, over time, more and more people should move to prediction markets, just given the incentives and and things like that. So, it's going to be, very.
The house's cut is kind of just predetermined on the top of it, and then basically you're trading against other traders for position.
Yep, and with prediction markets, Kalshi, Polymarket, it's really just it's an order book, buyers and sellers, and you're for every buyer there's a there's a seller. They're just matching those orders, so there's no, and that's how like the odds are found, and so there's no bookmaker making the line and like skewing it one way or another, and like to get more action on one side or not. It's purely just buyers and sellers, basically. So yeah, this is something to definitely watch over the next year as prediction markets volumes go up and to the right. It's going to be a big battle. Is this something that's going to go to like the Supreme Court or anything?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on they'll probably appeal and be in district court first. They'll both district shop, so it'll probably be in the 5th or 8th Circuit is where the federal government will almost certainly want to have it be heard. I'm not in the states. I'm not sure. I mean, because it's a company that is in the entire country, they'll kind of have their pick, because the bar for entry is just to prove that business is done in any state, and then they can pick that state to have the case heard in. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be back and forth. Which is, I think it's going to take so long.
Yeah,
like, I don't think this gets settled like within a year or two.
Yeah, and the Trump administration has been like very open to all like innovations and deregulation and stuff. So that will be interesting if that if the parties flip in a couple of years, see how they handle that.
I wonder if the Trump administration kind of tries to clear the way a little bit more, because like Don Jr. is an advisor for both Kalshi and Polymarket. I think he's invested in one too, but
yeah, he is, and it's so funny. So is Barron Trump, I believe, is like a advisor to one of them too. So
is it really?
I think I read that. Yeah, that's
he's probably got a lot of good ideas.
That's funny. Yeah. So yeah, very interesting stuff. So why don't we jump over to some updates on Iran?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I know. Let's see, the nuclear deal is something. I guess maybe before we get into this, just last night Trump gave a speech on kind of an update on Operation Epic Fury. There was lots of speculation swirling. What is it going to be about? Is he going to announce that we're putting boots on the ground? Is he going to announce that we're pulling out, withdrawing, winding it down? And it turned out to be, I don't know, very much a nothing burger, I guess. Kind of some of the same stuff he's been repeating. They're making progress. They're ahead of schedule. Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. all of this stuff, but the tone was a little bit off. I think it was a little bit harsher than people were maybe expecting, and the market reacted right away. Oil spiked, the stock market futures dropped. I might have recovered a little bit today, but it yeah, it was interesting for sure. Did you have any reaction to that speech?
Yeah, well, I spent most of the day, I mean, it aired last night, so most of the day thinking that it might be a pulling out of NATO speech.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
they
that's
were,
yep.
yeah, I think a lot of people were like kind of toning that down. And yeah, for the speech, it was he kind of already gave that speech a couple weeks ago. It was nothing new. It was weird. No mention of the April 6th extension deadline
All right.
for the opening of the Strait. Like, it was a lot of like blustery posture, but I don't know. There was just nothing new from it, and I think just nothing was something for the market. Yeah, like oil went up, everything spiked a bit, and yeah, I mean, nobody really. It was just more of the same, but confirmation that it was still the same. And then
Yep.
yeah, today we see that now Iran is talking about basically tolling the strait
Mm-hmm.
and not allowing anybody closely aligned with the U.S. to roll through. And it looks like oil has kind of dipped again on that news. But it is very much a not opening the strait, but they're monetizing the blockade that this conflict has instigated.
Yeah. This again, it just goes to I kind of covered it last video, but did they not expect this? Like going in, all these issues with the Strait, how did they not have a better plan for the Strait, I guess, is just my question.
Everybody's asking that
Yeah.
question. It is wild. It is. I don't think anybody expected such a big maneuver with such little off ramp. And as we're about to run out of all those tankers that were already at sea at the end of February,
Yeah.
and the EU just announced like yesterday, they're like, we're gonna run out.
And I saw like Australia's having all kinds of problems. I
Oh
thought
yeah,
I read too.
India, in India can go through, and they're just being hit so hard by the market shift.
Yeah. And a lot of the issue is the insurance companies don't want to insure the ships.
Yeah,
And so
well,
I
yeah,
look at
that's
this.
down.
Yeah.
They're just uninsurable.
Yep. And to me, I wish I would have bought no on this market before June when that's January. Where's June? Yeah, kind of coming back a little bit here. I think it's hard to imagine that it goes back to normal by June 1 to me.
Right?
This seems like a good bet to me, even at this price, 67%. Because June 1, so it's 2 months. There's just feels like so much logistics to sift through to get things back to actual normal. I guess that would be the main question of the resolution rules. What do they consider normal?
Yeah,
So
I was thinking
yeah,
that. And also, Iran
yeah,
just has no incentive to do that right now. There's nothing in it for them.
yeah,
I mean, because
yeah,
it's part of the nuclear deal. Like, it would require them giving up almost all of their defenses and then basically turning to the U.S., who is currently bombing them,
yeah.
to then guarantee their safety in the region. Like, none of that makes sense to me.
No, and Trump's going back to his speech last night.
Yeah.
He says that they're gonna bomb Iran back to the Stone Ages where they belong, or maybe he said something about if they don't agree to something, then they will bomb them back to the Stone Ages or something like that. Um, yeah, there's and you're seeing headlines daily of new ships being sent to the Middle East, new buildup of troops, the 82nd Airborne, more Marines. You don't send all of that there. It costs millions, billions of dollars just to transport all of these vessels and people to the other side of the world to turn around and go home in a week. Right. So it's, yeah, to me, it feels like this is going to be prolonged. I might look at putting a position on the no for before June. Let's go back to the nuclear deal here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So kind of chopping in this range again. So before June. So that would, I assume that means June 1.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they list June 1. Yeah, I guess by the end of May or whatever, I guess. So there is, like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say it looks like the dip in those markets where the Karazi, the former minister who was negotiating, like just got targeted in a strike last night. Like, he's injured. It killed his wife. I think it was an Israeli strike. Like, he was the guy they were talking to through. I think they were using Pakistan as the intermediary. But it's just they keep taking out the people that they're dealing with, and so it's just everything's just trending to like that deal is getting further away, and you can kind of see the markets are now starting to reflect that a little bit more. Like I felt like as it been gradually going up towards the end of March, it felt like that narrative wasn't making sense to me, and I think that finally cementing it into that this is not a immediate thing.
Yeah. And I don't know what you think, but it's just getting harder and harder and harder to believe anything this administration says, especially President Trump. I mean, he has not helped himself just instilling confidence that they're on top of this. Like, yeah, it's just like different things are coming out every day. They don't want regime change, but they're happy there's now a new regime. Yeah, it's just so much flip-flopping and so much, I don't know. It's not a good look.
Yeah, there's no confidence in the position of the White House now. It's no new wars leading into a conflict that is essentially a war, and now they're looking to cut a bunch of domestic social services to fund the Pentagon's $200 billion ask to continue it. It's like it's really everything's converging at a really bad point for the Trump administration on this. And yeah, I don't think an old school diplomatic deal is the end result of it.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. Again, it's like it's still no. They always say, these are our objectives. We, no nuclear program, yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. But and they apparently have accomplished that, as from everything they're saying. So then what's the holdup now? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the U.S. the ask for the U.S. that Iran flat out rejected was that because it's not just a nuclear deal, it's ballistic missiles, it's a lot of their drone. There's a lot rolled into it. It essentially makes them defenseless in the region. And Iran came out and said that's a non-starter. Like, we can't do that.
Right. So, yeah, just transitioning to that topic to how the midterms might play out because of everything. And yeah, 50-50 here. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, this is just
been a
collapse of the Republicans in the Senate. They were at
Yeah.
75 or 80, I think, last fall, and so much is just trending against them winning, especially those Wisconsin and Illinois, I think, are the two states that are going to definitely decide the Senate there. And they're huge independent voter populations in both states and are very not in favor of continued conflict in Iran. All the polling is trending the other way.
So their primary is in August, it looked like. Did I see that? I'm not sure why their parties aren't pulling up, or their markets aren't pulling up here for Wisconsin, but yeah, Kalshi has a cool midterms and election page here.
Yeah, I've been digging this. They're new, especially the primaries one is cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. And just to plug flowframe.xyz too, I made a new midterms page for that too. I'm going to pull up and show everyone that. It's similar, I guess, to Kalshi's, except we're going to be publishing some kind of written analysis and things on there. So something for everyone to check out. I'll quick share it here and show them. So midterms tab here. So yeah, some featured, has all the live odds from Kalshi. Have our market analysis here breaking down what we're thinking of some of the races. You can filter by state or by House, Senate, Governor. Get the live odds. So cool tab to check out here on FlowFrame. So then jump back. Any other Kalshi markets that you're looking at for Iran that you might have a trade on or looking to place a trade?
Yeah.
Anything like that?
Yeah. So looking at the Pahlavi markets are beginning to correct, it looks like, especially after Trump literally didn't say his name last night.
Oh yeah.
Nothing about it. And I think all the Pahlavi like recognition or really lead Iran is, they're all trying to this one. Yeah, this one's 87 cents no, but like even then, I think the yes is still overpriced at 15. Like, there's just so many things have to happen, and I don't see him being the preferred person to step in. Even though he spoke at CPAC, but Trump is a good tell at who he's favoring for people, and I don't think Pahlavi has the positioning within the country. He hasn't been in the country, I think, in like 40 years, and I just don't think the infrastructure in the country exists to have him in the lead. And like, yeah, will he lead Iran is a much bigger ask than like there's a different one on Kalshi. Like, will the US recognize him? I think it's a similar market, but not quite as much to clear to make it a reality. But I still, the 16%, yeah, I think 16 still too much. I think he fades away, and on the outside chance that I give that the conflict is even resolved by the end of this year.
Yeah.
I can't see it being him.
Yeah, Polymarket. I had a big position on Polymarket for will the Iranian regime fall by March 31. And yeah, that felt like easy money. I got in like middle of March maybe or whatever. You could probably play that market for the next couple months,
Yeah.
For sure. They've survived like so far. I think, yeah, really the only way, right, is it that they would fall is if we invade them probably somehow.
Yeah, and then like I've read the rules on those ones, but I can't tell at what point does it consider to be flipped, because the Iranian government, like, it is, they've built a great system for withstanding like invasion and attack. I mean, they've got the Ayatollah has officials in every IRGC like uh, base. Like, they all these generals owe their allegiance to the Ayatollah personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that government can function, I think, spread out and decentralized within the country very well. So I don't think necessarily, I mean, if you get boots on the ground and they take Tehran or anything like that, like, I don't think that necessarily topples the government.
So yeah, looking like the Iranian regime probably safe for a while. So there could be some opportunities there on Polymarket. I'll just quick pull that up just so I can give you guys an idea of what those odds are. We are at Iranian regime fall by April 30 right now. Oh yeah, it's come down even since the last. It's only a 3% chance by April 30, and 6% chance by May 31. Okay, so let's jump over to some mention markets that we're looking at. I'm gonna pull up one that's tonight first. We have Caroline Levitt speaking at a Turning Point tour. So this is very different from her normal appearances. Normally, she's got the White House press briefing conferences where she's basically grilled by reporters in the press on all kinds of issues. This is going to be a lot different. So really can't look at a lot of the historical data on things she said at her press briefings and stuff. Maybe you can get a little bit from just some words she likes and stuff, but this is going to be a different setting. This is at George Washington University. I think it's co-hosted with Erica Kirk. So this is, I think, maybe some sort of tour as a remembering Charlie or a memorial for Charlie, potentially something like that. And so I think probably like the setting will be her and Erica will probably be on stage, maybe talking back and forth a little bit, maybe, Caroline talking about some of her background and her history and how she got to where she is, and then maybe some questions from the crowd. Do you think that's how it's going to go?
Yeah, there's not a lot of like there's not a lot published on the format or the content, but yeah, it
So
is a weird one. I mean, it could go anywhere.
yeah, so go ahead.
I would think she would pepper in some of the more like the bigger domestic White House stuff in there at some point. I'm seeing like Save America and like Save America Act. Is like, I can't imagine she doesn't loop back around to some of that stuff, because if it's conversational, they're gonna get to what the current work. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you can't look at those press briefings and transcripts and get a really good feel for this one.
I think what you can maybe get though is this is partly going to be Turning Point USA and tour, kind of a midterms tour as well, right? Probably kind of a way to reach voters and college kids and ahead of the midterms to talk about their accomplishments, why they should vote for Republicans again. So a lot of those themes could come up. I'm just looking up a little bit more information on it here. So this is, so it's going to be, I just had it. Yeah. The tour. So this is what I was looking for. It's framed as honoring Charlie Kirk's legacy of free speech and advocacy on college campuses. It's going to be streamed live on Fox DC. But so the audience is going to be conservative college students, TPUSA members, young right-leaning activists in DC. Very different from the hostile White House press corps. These are probably people that really like Caroline, she's an inspiration to them. So kind of people her age, right? She's pretty young, so 20, 28, and these are college kids, so somewhat her age. So that it could be potentially very friendly, but I could also see maybe where she might get challenged on a few things, especially if she gets challenged. I feel like it will be around the Iran thing, right? Because that was a huge thing, just from Charlie's like on campus tours and stuff. No new wars, all of the stuff, like he repeated that stuff like constantly. So maybe she gets pressed on that issue. Otherwise, I think mostly friendly, why Republicans are better than Democrats, that type of stuff. So I think I like Biden, honestly, at this price. Because again, I think that's just a go-to of any political thing, is just like saying how bad the other party is, or how bad the previous administration is. That's like a staple of any sort of like speech or rally or whatever. So it seems priced fairly low. And I know we're not really can't compare it to the press briefings, but if you look at her press briefings, Biden hits all the time. So it's like one of her main go-to things. So Biden is interesting. I wanted to also get where is it moved to? Is it run away from me? Campaign. Oh, okay. So campaigned. I think if you look back at some of her history, she campaigned for what was it? What is she when she was younger? She ran for Congress in New Hampshire at 25. Was the youngest White House press secretary ever, and she campaigned for Trump. If they go into her background, her history, she might tell the story of when she was campaigning. I guess I should check if campaigning would fit, but campaigning, or she campaigned. I campaigned for this. Trump campaigned for this. Feels like a word that fits into her story, her background story, and also on the Trump angle as well. The Trump campaign, the midterms campaigning on this. I don't know. So that's a word that's interesting to me. You have a lean on that one? Any thoughts on that word?
On campaign? Yeah, especially if it gets into any of her history, that is a good correlation.
Yeah. And so she's also go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. She's also pregnant. So that's potentially a topic that comes up. And then
I like America First too, because I can't see it not wrapping up with a little bit of a platform. Like if they're going to talk about, if they're going to get into the midterms, I mean that's the positive message for her to communicate in a room full of supporters. Like I like that one.
That's an interesting one too. I kind of like that. Look at this price movement. Way up. I know very illiquid probably to start, so bounced around, but it's been grinding up. People seem to be thinking similarly to you lately. America First. That could be a good one. That could be a good one too. Iran. Any thoughts on Iran at 80%?
I feel a little high, maybe.
But yeah, you really gotta just bank on like someone at if she's just, if it starts off as her just having a conversation with Erica or something, talking about her history and whatever, it's probably not going to hit there, so it would probably have to come up in a question maybe. So
Yeah,
it seems high for relying on a Q&A.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. I mean, we're almost a full day out from Trump's primetime speech there, and it'll be interesting to see how like the inner core of the White House is selling Iran now. We don't really have anything. We've had no opportunity to see what the new messaging is going to be around it. If they're going to they're going to hit it hard. If they're still going to go hard on like epic fury, like it feels like everybody is obligated. Everyone speaking from the White House is obligated to say epic fury like almost every time now. I wonder if they double down or they start to back off, but I think this is one of the first mention markets or just any kind of speech that we'll see if there's any coordination from the White House on the messaging.
Yeah. So I'll be trading this one. I'll be on Biden for sure. I think I already have a position on Biden from the 50s or upper 50s, I think. Campaign. I will probably be on yes. Well, so this is a wide spread here. So really the best yes you can get is 71 cents right now. So that was I'm gonna be watching that one for sure. So another market I want to touch on Monday is Trump has his Easter egg, the Easter egg roll event, White House lawn, I believe. This is actually a big event. I think it is the biggest public event at the White House of the year. There's lots of kids and families that show up. I haven't done a super big deep dive on this yet. Like is he gonna give probably some sort of remarks? Is he gonna take Q&A? What have the last couple events looked like? I'll have to dive into that, unless you know off the top of your head.
No, I'm not sure on it. I mean, I know there has been like remarks and some Q&A. I think Biden did that. I think Biden was big with the Easter egg or the Easter event at the White House, but I'm not sure what his format's going to be.
Yeah. So right off the bat, Iran looks low to me here. If there's any sort of Q&A,
right?
I
not get pushed on it.
How is he not gonna get asked about it? And then he'll go on one of, obviously it's not like a great look. There's kids and families around, and then he's talking about bombing Iran. But I wonder if if he gets pushed on it, he'll probably answer the question and
he might get asked a toothless question that is more like bird's eye view of it, not into the military operations.
Yep. So seemed like a good risk reward at 56 cents to me. Let's see.
I'm also looking at ballroom at 45. I mean, if there's a Q&A, how do they not look to their left at the construction? He doesn't ask him about the ballroom.
Or exactly, or he points it out somehow if it's like in view of everyone.
Yeah, because he's really having to sell. He lost I forget what circuit court just pretty much just told him they had a decision where he can't build the ballroom, but he can like make it safe and like finish a portion of the construction to like so he doesn't just leave like on a hole in the side of the White House. And he immediately went into like sell mode about like, well, yeah, this is what makes it safe. It's bulletproof. He says bulletproof and ballistic proof and drone proof. And so I can't imagine he doesn't want to talk about it and then like gesture to one side because he's really having to sell that because the judge's order was a little bit ambiguous and did not specifically say what had to be done to close off the work that was already done. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good thought. Just without doing a ton of research yet, Biden seems too low to me as well. If they are full on, Trump's approval rating is crashing. If just trying to sell themselves and sell what they're doing and drag Biden through the dust and Democrats through the dust at any chance they get seems
I wonder
like
why there's a huge spread between Melania and movie star, but he's been pairing those together a lot. I can't imagine she's not there for this.
She is going to be there.
You gonna be there?
I saw that she is going to be there with him. So that's a good thought too. Movie star 30 low 32.
But Melania's up at 75.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
Yeah. That's interesting. I'm going to pull up a new tool that I have on FlowFrame again for mentioned markets. And we'll do a test with this one. So in the mentions hub tab, you can now paste a Kalshi URL right here. So grab a mentioned market URL, paste it right there. It'll pull in all of the words automatically from that market from Kalshi, so you don't have to go through and type in each one. So you've got all of the words for that Easter egg roll here, and you can just click through them and see. It looks like maybe we don't have all of them. Well, maybe we do. I'll have to double check that. But anyway, so Melania, you can click on that and see his historical mention rate. Actually, we want to click on Trump there. And you can see, and then this is also new, how often he says certain words in different settings. So let's go to a more popular one. So Iran. So you can see, press conferences, rallies, formal addresses, press gaggles, like how often that word gets said in those settings. Just gives you some context. And then again, you can see here like how we set it. And then if you click on the view in matrix, this is really cool. View in matrix, select the speaker. It pulls all of those words over automatically, and it gives you the yes no matrix. So got the event, the speaker, all of the words, and you can see it pulls in all of the last speeches or transcripts that we have. So you can see here Biden hasn't hit for a couple here, but was on a streak for a while there. And you can hover over it. It gives you context of what the event was. So you can nail it down to just to the last 5, or as many as like the last 20. So
that's a great tool. Especially looking at, Republicans are just historically so much better at being kind of lockstep on narrative. And that's a great way to visualize it. And you can see those through yeses like pop out pretty easily on this site. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's a great visual, a great tool just to give you an idea of what's maybe on top of their minds, what's a topic that the administration is really pushing for. You can't solely go by this. You also have to kind of feel the vibes a little bit for each event. What's the news of that certain day? Is something new come out that day? All of these things. But I think this is just a great data point to narrow down on which words you want to look at, focus on. Why has certain one been hitting so often? Why hasn't one been hitting at all? Pope is a word that's on the right, so it's on the card for it, right? He hasn't said it, but he hasn't really had a reason to, right? But now there's maybe a reason to. So that's
triangulating like a term, like a mention between like the matrix, the type of event, and then just the specific event.
Yep.
It's like Pope obviously now has a lot more reason to come up
a lot more relevance. So he said it. So that's where you can jump back to this screen and you can look at some of the more of the historical data. The last time he said it was in April of 2025, and that was he spoke to reporters before the Marine One departure. He was attending the funeral of Pope Francis. So,
Okay.
not really relevant, maybe, but
Yeah, right. Yeah, that kind of devalues it a little bit for this much.
yeah. So, I guess I'm gonna jump back and see what. So that's a tool to check out. Mentions Hub on FlowFrame. Really cool. It's all free. So let's go back to here. I want to see what Pope was at. Actually, 24%. So it's something he could be asked about, do you think? Right?
Yeah.
Do you think he could be asked about that?
Yeah.
Think of an angle, but
I don't know. That one's really like there's not a lot of context besides the event to go on. There's nothing from Trump.
or actually, I just thought of one.
Hmm.
So the Pope put out a message about the war early this week or last week, basically condemning violence, basically. Someone was asked about that too. I don't, was it Trump or was it? I think it was Levitt was asked about it. Was asked about the Pope's comments. I wonder. Yeah, I guess I'm probably not in love with it here, but if it gets down to like under 20%, maybe worth a long shot. Worth a long shot there.
Yeah, maybe in this little tail.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those are some mentioned markets we're going to be looking at and trading. Again, find our trades in the Prediction Labs Discord. That's predictionlabs.app. And also make sure to check out those tools on flowframe.xyz. So, all right. That was a good one. Covered a lot there again. Lots to keep watching in Iran. And domestically, we didn't even touch on the shutdown and all of that stuff. But yeah, a lot happening. We will catch you guys probably next week.